Hello BEA beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie Reneé and I am a Juilliard trained opera singer. Ooh, Maggie's Minutes. We have a really big and exciting reaction today. We are doing the Nightwish Poet and the Pendulum video, which I'm so excited about because you all have been requesting it, and we're gonna be doing a reaction together basically because I do my research with you guys. I'm going to give you a whole explanation of everything. First, before we get started, I just want to thank Sammy and everybody write in the chats. Thank you, Sammy. This is gonna be such an epic reaction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John J is a wonderful patron who is absolutely fantabulous, and he is the one who is helping me for today with the information that we need. He's one of my earliest patrons on my channel, and so I'm so grateful to him. We're gonna be doing the version with the lyrics. I know that all of you guys were asking for that. Some people have different opinions, but I wanted to get the lyrics because I'm a person who loves knowing what's going on. Thank you all so much for joining me today for this reaction. We're reacting to The Poet and the Pendulum, Nightwish, the high quality version with lyrics, and it's live at Wembley in 2015. I know it says 2016, but it is the 2015 version, the one that everybody wants to see. And I'm so excited to do this reaction with you guys, and I love different kinds of music. I am an opera singer. I study classical voice at the Juilliard school, so I'm currently pursuing my master's degree. This is so much fun for me to view all of these different kinds of videos, all these different kinds of genres, and symphonic metal is fairly new to me, but there are a lot of things that are relatable to opera and are relatable to what I do myself. So all the help that you guys provide is super helpful. I try not to get too many spoilers, but it's definitely nice to have you all participating so that we can work through this whole thing ourselves and together. All right, so let's read what John wrote to us. It's quite a bit of information, but I think it's really important and that everybody should know about this. John says, "Hey Maggie, this is apparently the same show as we did for the Empty Hope song that I reacted to yesterday. If you haven't seen that reaction, I believe it is still up on my channel, depending on if it's gotten blocked or not. Hopefully not. Poet is the 11th song and about an hour into the show." He says, "This is considered by a lot of Nightwish fans to be their best live performance ever." Which is okay. I'm excited. I know you guys have been asking a lot for this stuff, and I don't mind doing the other versions. I see some of you guys want the other version, and I'm happy to do that reaction at a different time as well. If you'd like, that's totally fine with me, but we wanted to start with this one because it has all of the ones that people have wanted and the lyrics and all of that jazz. So I'm gonna do this version first, and then we can go on to the other versions as well. So about the song, John says, "This is one of Tuomas Holopainen's," is that how you say it? Tuomas Holopainen? Hopefully that's right. "Most personal songs that Nightwish does. Tuomas is the keyboard player, founder of Nightwish, and writer and arranger of most of the songs they do. But some quick background. Tarja was the original singer of the band and a very close personal friend of Tuomas. Tuomas, Tarja, and Emppu formed the band in 1996. Also, oh, Jansen is pronounced Janssen? Is that true? Floor Janssen? What? I had no idea. How did I not know that? Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Janssen. Jansen is Janssen. That's incredible. I needed to see, this is why I like doing the reactions with you guys, because it helps me to actually know what it is. But I study 6 different languages, so all of this stuff is like, you know, in some languages the J is pronounced as a J, and some it's pronounced as a J, in some languages it's pronounced as a Y, so like it's many things. Now we know. We love that we just got that. Okay, so let's keep on reading. In 2005, the band had grown unhappy with Tarja because of a lot of different things, so they decided to fire her. They did so by writing an open public letter to her letting her know that they were kicking her out of the band. This was given to her the night of the concert End of an Era that included the Phantom of the Opera performance you reacted to. Got it. And this is what my team was mentioning to me yesterday, because in my Phantom of the Opera reaction, I had said how incredible they were working together. Here, let me show you guys. This is the reaction that I did to their Phantom of the Opera. Okay, they sound really great together. So this is where I was talking about, and in this reaction I had talked about how I thought that they were working really well together, and that they just sounded well, and that Tarja and Marco seemed to be getting along well. And so then I was told by my team yesterday that actually the reason why they said that it was the last concert is because it was legitimately the last concert before they let her go. And then they let her go right after, which is like, huh. That's basically where I was at with that, because I really thought that they were getting along. I had no idea. Marco and Tarja hated each other for years. See, I had no idea. And on stage, they looked like they were getting along just fine. And I was wondering, like, why they kept kind of commenting on it, and it didn't really make sense. But now it makes perfect sense. So this was given to her the night of the concert End of an Era that included the Phantom of the Opera performance you reacted to. They gave it to her after the show and told her it may be better if you don't read this until the morning. Oh my goodness gracious. Tuomas has said in interviews it was the hardest thing he has ever had to do. Here's the letter to Tarja. So here, we're going to pull up the letter they wrote to Tarja. I'm going to read this to you now. I've never seen this in my life, but this is to get the drama, and I guess this is like what this piece is about, The Poet and the Pendulum. So I'm really fascinated to read about this because I've never seen this, and this is like really important to the drama of music, because even for me as a songwriter, a lot of my writing has to do with what I'm personally experiencing. So I'm assuming that this kind of a letter is, you know, within The Poet and the Pendulum played a huge part in what this is going to be about. I'm assuming, because a lot of songs that artists write about and a lot of things that I do myself is all based on our personal experience. So we're about to read this together. So this says, Dear Tarja, it's time to choose whether the story of Nightwish ends here or whether it will still continue an undetermined period of time. We've been working with this creation for 9 years and we are not ready to give up yet. Nightwish is a way of life, something to live for, and we're certain we can't let it go. Equally certain is the fact that we cannot go on with you and Marcello any longer. During the last year, something sad happened, which I've been going over in my head every single day, morning and night. Your attitude and behavior don't go with Nightwish anymore. There are characteristics I would never have believed to see in my old dear friend. People who don't talk with each other for a year do not belong in the same band. Wow. We are involved in an industry where the business side of things is a necessary evil and something to worry about all the time. We are also a band which has always done music from the heart because of friendship and the music itself. The mental satisfaction should always be more important than money. Yes, very important. Nightwish is a band. It's an emotion. To you, unfortunately, business, money, and things that have nothing to do with those emotions have become much more important. You feel that you have sacrificed yourself and your musical career for Nightwish, rather than thinking what it is given to you. This attitude was clearly shown to me in 2 things you said to me in an airplane in Toronto. I don't need Nightwish anymore, and remember, Tuomas, that I could leave this band at any time, giving you only 1 day's warning in advance. I can't simply write any more songs for you to sing. Wow, this is deep. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe that they kind of put that out. That's an interesting one. Yikes. I mean, I know now some people have told me that they have no hard feelings now, but that's kind of intense. Wow. Okay, let's keep reading. You have said yourself that you are merely a guest musician in Nightwish. Now that visit ends, and we will continue Nightwish with a new female vocalist. We're sure this is an equally big relief to you as it is for us. We have all been feeling bad long enough. You told us that no matter what, the next Nightwish album will be your last one. However, the rest of us want to continue as long as the fire burns. So there's no sense in doing that next album with you, either. The 4 of us have been going over this situation countless times, and we have realized that this is the thing we want to do in life. It's all we can do. In December 2004 in Germany, you said that you will never tour again for more than 2 weeks at a time. You also said that we can forget about a US and Australia because the fees and the sizes of venues are too small. Wow. In interviews, I've mentioned that if Tarja leaves, that would be the end of the band. I understand that people think this way. Nightwish is, however, a scenery of my soul, and I'm not ready to let it go because of one person. A person who wants to focus her creativity to somewhere else. A person whose values don't match mine. We were never bothered by the fact that you didn't participate in writing/arranging songs. You never in 9 years came to rehearse the songs with us before going to the studio. Not the fact that while on tour you always wanted to fly separately from us with your husband. Not the fact that you are an undisputable front image of the band. We accepted and felt okay about everything except greed. underestimating the fans, and breaking promises. It was agreed by the 5 of us that Nightwish would be the priority in everything that we do during 2004 to 2005. Still, so many things were more important to you. The ultimate example of being the already sold-out show in Oslo, which you wanted to cancel because you needed to rehearse for your solo concerts, meet friends, and go to the movies. Ooh, that's a little bit shady. That's a little bit shady. Oh my goodness gracious. I got so sad when I read that they canceled the show in Norway because Tarja wanted to focus on her solo stuff. Yeah, this is deeper than I even thought. This is intense. I literally was not expecting this at all. Those were the words Marcello used in an email explaining the cancellation. This being just one example of so many, I couldn't think of a worse way of being selfish and dismissing our fans. Wow. This is gonna be an epic song. Nightwish is a way of life and a job with many obligations, to each other and to the fans. With you, we can't take care of those duties anymore. Deep within, we don't know which one of you drove us to this point. Somehow Marcello has changed you from the lovely girl you were into a diva, who doesn't think or act the way she used to. You are too sure of your implacableness and status. It's obvious that you blame your stress and misery on us 4, and you think we don't respect or listen to you. Believe us, we have always had the uppermost respect towards you as a wonderful vocalist and as a friend. And very often during the past couple of years, the plans were made according to your decisions only. You were always the one who wanted more money from the shows. This compensation and more money from everything attitude is the fact that we are the most disappointed of. We wish that from now on you will listen to your heart instead of Marcello. Cultural differences combined with greed, opportunism, and love is a dangerous combination. Do not wither yourself. This decision is not something we are especially proud of, but you gave us no choice. The gap between us is too wide, and the decision is made by us 4 unanimously. We are beyond the point where things could be settled by talking. All the best for your life and career. Tuomas, Emppu, Jukka, Marco. P.S. This is an open letter for everybody. Whoa. That is insane. That is a lot. Wow. I have to say, reading about this stuff, it's so true how important it is to consider when you're a part of a group or an ensemble or working with people around you, that you have to respect everybody's different views and that you have to have a consideration of what everybody's feeling and go along with what everybody wants. You know, it's the majority of the group. I try to run my channel that way too. Like I want to know what everybody wants, and so I don't take one person's opinion to heart. It's everybody, what everybody's kind of feeling, and we come to a consensus. And we may not agree on everything, but we're respectful of each other. When we don't like the same genres, we still listen to things that are different and kind of work that way. So it's interesting to kind of see how these kinds of things might play into a band needing to take somebody out that might not respect those things. The man wrote a termination letter as deep as his songs. Yeah, this is quite deep. The public reaction to this letter was even more insane. The band did not anticipate that. This song is essentially the way Tuomas had to deal with the backlash since they all blamed him. The song was his hypothetical suicide. Yeah, that's what I've heard. She wrote an open letter in response. Right, so, speaking of which, let's read what John continued to say. Tarja was shocked and devastated and wrote a public letter back to the band, and it talks about how awesome that concert was that night and how happy she was, only to be blindsided by the angry letter from the band telling her they were letting her go. Here's her letter back to them. So now we're going to read the response from Tarja. I think this is quite interesting. I'm glad you guys find this as fascinating as me, because I'm just like, I'm shooketh. Literally, this is incredible. I mean, to see the background explanation for all these kinds of things, to see, you know, because we always hear about bands breaking up, we always hear about like the drama of it, but we don't ever get the background details. So this is really amazing. So this is now the letter from Tarja back to the band after she had received this letter. Since last Sunday morning, I have been asked to express my position by magazines, newspapers, radio and TV stations, fan clubs, and fans from Finland and from all over the world. So many in total that it's physically impossible for me to find the time to reply to all of them individually. Hence, I decided to put down a couple words in this text to let my fans, family, and friends, and the public know how I feel after the recent events. This is a moment of grief and pain, and I find it very hard to speak. At the moment, I'm in Argentina. I hope you can understand that after this shocking life change comparable to a divorce, I didn't want to stay alone at home in Finland. My husband had booked his tickets to Argentina many months ago, and I decided to travel with him in the last minute. But the fact that I am in Argentina and the long distance should of course not be an excuse to not comment on the situation. Last Friday, the 21st of October, was a day the whole band had been waiting for a long time. Practice started early in the morning. I was very sick and nervous because of the fact that I was not even able to sing during the rehearsals. Also nervous because the concert program was going to be longer than usual for a Nightwish concert. Furthermore, we were going to have a special guest to perform with us, more wardrobe changes for myself than usual, and for the first time, big screens and bigger production on stage. Not to forget that the concert was going to be recorded and filmed. The 5 of us had finally made it to play Hartwell Arena. Even though every one of us knew in advance that the concert was sold out, finally on stage we saw that the screaming, applauding, and standing people took every seat. The feeling was unbelievable. I will never forget how amazing it was to experience the Finnish audience's gorgeous reception. When the concert was over, I cried of happiness on stage, happy tears because I was able to do my best as always even though I was sick. Happy tears because our long tour got the greatest possible ending, and happy tears because of the best reception an artist can get, applause and smiling faces. At that moment, I didn't know that I was going to cry again soon. After the concert, the guys of the band invited me backstage to join them and asked me to hug all together. This felt strange, as it was the same kind of hug we traditionally came together for before every concert. That tradition remained between us, even though the tension and increasing pressure already existed since a long period of time. The immediate feeling in me was to thank them, which I did loudly but without any reply. After this, they gave me a letter and asked me to read it the following day. The same letter that is now public. I read it and was shocked. I didn't know what to say, and still at the moment that I am writing these lines, I don't. I sense great anger in that letter, and I continue to have very confused feelings about it, but I don't want to reply to this anger with an even greater anger. Private matters should never be taken to the public. Okay, so clearly she was not happy that they published this letter. She wanted that to remain a private kind of a thing, which I could technically understand. It's kind of a big thing to draw out a letter like that, like the 4 band members did, and then post it publicly. Even if she did have a lot of things that she did wrong, it's kind of always a better idea to keep this stuff private, though I'd say it's interesting for us to be able to find out this information. It's really nice to be able to read this ourselves and like hear about the drama of the band and understand all this stuff and really get the different standpoints and viewpoints. But I don't know what led them to kind of make this a public thing. They've also mostly made up. Only Tarja and Tuomas haven't made up. She's made an appearance with Marco since and is friends with Floor as well. Yeah, I've heard that. Anyways, let's keep on reading. I know this moment we are going through is very sad for everybody, including the guys. While there would have been so many different possibilities and ways to express what they wanted to tell me with the letter, I remain unable to understand the way they chose to handle this. I am sorry that the guys got me so wrong. I don't recognize myself at all from the way they described me. They mentioned mean things about me, but the fact that they've involved Marcello, my husband, crossed the line. He is the man I love, my friend, and has been my biggest supporter over the last years. We have been bandmates for 9 years, experienced good times and not so good ones. I thought I knew them, but I was wrong. Still, everything that has happened is not enough to make them evil in my eyes. Now comes a time to calm down and reflect upon all of this. I need to put my feelings together again, and I promise to come back to the public soon. I will announce a press conference where I will be talking about my future plans. This doesn't mean that you should expect this conference to be an instrument to attack anybody. It won't. The wonderful music we created together won't be touched by recent events. Thanks a lot to the people who are supporting me during these sad times, my family, friends, colleagues, and the great number of fans. I love you, and I really feel I have not failed you. Tarja. Okay, so that's definitely an interesting kind of a thing. Do you guys have any opinions? Do you guys think that the band was right in putting it out public? Do you think that it was wrong of them to put it out? Do you think that Tarja was genuine in her reply? Do you guys think that it affected the music? Sadly, I think it was a misguided attempt to preempt negative feelings towards the band for a painful action take that proved to be a miscalculation. Okay. I think they were right given the times. The media blows everything out of proportion, so it was their way to get out ahead of things. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, let's continue to see what John wrote next. John says, understandably, a lot of fans were blindsided as well, and were very angry with Tuomas for firing Tarja. He received a lot of backlash, which ended up causing him to be really depressed about it. He wrote The Poet and the Pendulum in response to that. You can tell by the title that it is influenced by Edgar Allan Poe's The Pit and the Pendulum. Oh! And Tuomas has said he imagined the pendulum lowering down and eventually killing him. The whole ordeal was very painful for him since he really did love Tarja. and he has said this song was catharsis for him. Amazing. I love that you want to get the full story. Yeah, I really do, because I know that this is important towards what Tuomas ended up writing. Also, John wrote some notes that were supposed to be just for me, but I think that they're really interesting for everybody, so I'm going to read these as well, if that's all right with you guys. John says, here is a link, timestamp to the spot where he talks about it, that has a short interview clip of Tuomas's thoughts on the song and how much it means to him. He speaks about how hard it is to still perform this song live. In the Wembley show, you can see Emppu and Marco come check on him. So let's pull up this video. Let me play this for you guys now.
Is it fair to say that on Dark Passions Play, especially around that time, was the most difficult for the band?
Yeah, I think it's by far our darkest album. There are some lighter moments like Amaranth or Last of the Wilds there, but overall it's pretty dark. Again, a reflection of what happened in 2005, 2006.
Right, and in that sense then, does writing about it, creating these epic songs, does that help deal with kind of are those the emotions kind of, let me put it differently,
I know what you mean.
In terms of, is it a cathartic thing in a way?
Catharsis is a good way of putting it. The ultimate example being The Poet and the Pendulum, the song, where I literally kill myself in the song so that I wouldn't have to do it in real life. And it was a very cathartic thing to do. And back in the days, it just had to be done. Ended up being a wonderful piece of music. And we still perform it live every now and then. And it's a bit tricky because that's 12 years ago. I'm not that person anymore. I'm past all that. But it's still there, immortalized in that one song.
Right.
And to play that live, it's very, it's quite a paradox.
Does it remind
There's quite
you?
a turmoil inside of my head when we play it.
Right, does it remind you of
It does, it really does, yeah. I remember sometimes telling the monitor engineer to please cut off all vocals from my in-ears.
Okay.
Just for the duration of that song, so I don't hear the lyrics.
Right.
Yeah, that's a pretty difficult thing. And just so you guys know, John also gave the suggestion, because this is an important thing. This is the suicide hotline number, so if you ever feel any these kinds of feelings, I hope that you will consider using this number, and also make sure that you find it wherever you live for the specific country that you're in or the specific location that you're in. But yes, make sure that you get the help that you need, or if anybody else needs it that you know of, please also help them get the help that they need. But yeah, I can understand how it's immensely difficult to hear back the kind of turmoil that you've went through. So it's quite interesting. Again, thank you so much to John, who put together all of this incredible information that is helpful to us, knowing everything that we need to know about this reaction. We're so grateful. John said that the lyrics are really deep and there has been lots written about all what they mean, so he said he's not going to go into that. He says you'll interpret them just fine, especially if you use the lyrics version, which we are. And he says a few notes to pay attention to. The song is about Tuomas dealing with the intense emotions and committing metaphorical suicide. And in general, he says that there are a couple of lyrics that are a bit intense, so just a heads up on that. He says to kind of expect that, and he's more referring to feelings of being taken advantage of multiple times or time after time. And then he also talks about not having a shoulder to cry on, which is referring to the rest of the band also being in pain. And then he mentions that there's a lyric that says 3 minutes and counting, which you can question what is going to happen in 3 minutes and take note of the timestamp. So once we hear those words, the 3 minutes and counting, we'll also look out for what's going to happen there. And yeah, so that's pretty much what he says. And he says enjoy. So thank you so much to John for all of this information. This is going to be really helpful for our reaction. I think we got a really good head start on what the information is, and I'm so glad that we got to learn that together, because I really wanted us to all have an idea, especially those that don't know Nightwish or are learning about Nightwish from my channel. I'm really grateful that we get to show them this information, because I think that the backstory to the way that people write things is so important. Like, we research our composers in classical music, we research the poets and the authors and all of the different people as well, so this kind of stuff is very important in order to get the context of why, how, all the ways that it impacts the music itself. So Thank you so much, John, for your help with that. That was really, really incredible. All right, I'm really excited to see this. We're going to react to this together. And also thank you again to Sammy for his generosity in making this reaction possible. And yeah, now I think it is time for us to react to the music video of The Poet and the Pendulum. This is again the live version, the Wembley show in 2015, and it's with the lyrics. And I think it's time to get started. I'm so nervous. I'm really nervous. I don't want to miss anything. But we've got these lyrics here. We've got everything that we need, and I think we're ready. Also, did you guys notice I had this incredible Nightwish background? I got this specifically for this reaction, and I think it's really cool. See? Isn't that awesome? I think it's so cool. Really awesome design. Think of the end as referring to the Tarja era and the beginning as the next chapter with a net. Gotcha. Let's do it. Okay, wait, do we know who's singing? They say this is not Floor. Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, what? Also, it's a choir boy singing, not Floor. Okay, good. I was like, excuse me, who is this person? I knew it was a child, but I was like, who is this child? Who have they brought in there? Okay, that sounds good. So that's a beautiful voice. And also, did you guys hear the whispering in the beginning? It's a really lovely kind of like they're talking in the background underneath. Really beautiful. And I love his voice. It's so pure and beautiful. It's really lovely. This child is Guy Elliott. Gotcha. He will have spoken words throughout. Got it. Okay, let's keep going. So beautiful. Okay, hold on. Before we get into home, whoa, that gave me goosebumps like crazy. That was like, I felt that all on my shoulders and spine. That was crazy. Also, the little young boy, I really, really like his voice. He's got a really, really nice voice. And like I said, it's very like on pitch, very, very beautifully produced. And I really love the height in his vowels. You know what I mean? Like young children always have a beautiful, pure voice, but his just pings through in a really, really beautiful way and has like a really lovely forward technique that allows him to just have like this tall vertical sound that's really, really pure, which is gorgeous. I'm sorry, I pause a lot on my channel, but it's just really, really interesting. Guy Elliott, gotcha, beautiful voice. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, I pause a lot. This is me. I talk a lot, so yeah. Is this already Kai? Whoa, look at the swinging pendulums in the back. Woo. Nice drums. Okay, really quickly. First of all, really loved that belt where she went higher in her voice. I wasn't expecting her to go higher in that belt because it's a really, really open and beautiful sound, but it's so flowy. And then also, I love that the word hideaway is in this because that reminds me of my song, My Hideaway. Anyways, totally random. Okay, let's go back. I want to hear that belting part one more time. But these lyrics, wow, really fitting. Let's keep listening. That lyrics, or one last perfect verse, but still the same old song. Oh my god, those are good lyrics. That's a really good. Really good. Okay, I promised you guys a windmill, so should I do it now? Also, just wanted to say, her voice fits this perfectly. Like, floor on this is perfection. Perfection. So good. I really think that this fits her so well. I mean, I haven't heard the rest of it, but so far, I mean, it just shows all the brilliant and best parts of her voice so far. So, yeah. Too short. I know, but I gotta do it anyway. We're gonna do the windmill now, because I promised you guys the windmill. Okay, ready? Ready? We're getting ready for it. My favorite thing of Nightwish reactions ever. Those medals of adventure-filled days will be very smiling face. Please, no more words, thoughts from a severed head. No more, please tell me once my heart goes right. And take me Okay, wait, I saw a comment. There was Emppu checking on Tuomas. Okay, wait, I want to see that part. And also, just again, cannot emphasize enough how well this song fits her. Also, oh my god, every time I do a windmill, I'm just like, woo! Every single time. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is insane. It's so just well done, and she does it really well. I feel like this is one of those songs, like when a band presents it to you, they're like, by the way, this is like the most important thing in the entire universe to us, that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this well then, you know? And it seems like she really did that because, yeah. Where did he check on him? Nope, we're just gonna watch from here. Okay, let's see. What I have become. Probably here. song. See it. Those medals of oh wow. I saw that. That's crazy. Maggie, please don't do too much windmilling. Please don't injure yourself. I've actually not hurt myself once doing the windmill. Also, forgive me for two faces. What are the two faces that he's talking about? The shoulder cries too. Like that line is absolutely stunning. Public face and private face. Gotcha. Forgive my two faces. So that's what happens. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess like because he had to come out with that kind of information, it's like a different face than what was initially presented, that kind of a thing. All of the members of the band check on Tuomas during the song to make sure that he's feeling okay. That's so sweet. And when in depression, you show a happy face outwards and pain on the inside. The shoulder part, I'm talking about where the Tuomas writes that he wants to have a shoulder to cry on, but the shoulders are crying more than his. He was talking about his bandmates and the fact that the bandmates are crying more so than he is, and so he can't turn to them to cry on their shoulders either because everybody's hurt. I actually think Tarja was his shoulder, and he obviously can't cry on her shoulder anymore. Oh, gotcha. That's interesting too. All right, let's keep on watching. This is really interesting. Let's see if we can find the 3-minute mark. I'm curious to see where that is. I don't want to miss it.
My home was there and there, those medals of adventure-filled days, one with every smiling face. Please, no more words, thoughts from a severed head. No more, please tell me once my heart goes right. Take me home.
Shoulders. That's insane. This is number 3. That's beautiful. That's a stunning bass solo. Okay, so this is quite amazing. I'm finally getting to hear more of Floor's operatic kind of quality. This is a little bit more, I would say, in the classical direction still. This isn't her full operatic voice, but it's really interesting to hear the classical color. I pointed this out yesterday. I'll show you what I mean by the difference between the classical and the operatic quality. Let me show you right now so that you guys can hear the difference. Okay, so do you hear how gentle it is? Okay, so she goes kind of like, it's very, very gentle, very pianissimo, and like very forward. She has a very kind of, I'm still talking my reverb. She has a very kind of forward, clean kind of a voice when she does this. So it's very, very, very light and very, very forward. It's not so much operatic, because the operatic difference, instead of it's actually operatically. So do you hear the difference between those two resonances? Not only is it a little bit more loud, but the support is different for the operatic singing versus the classical kind of singing. And so is the positioning and the resonance, all of that kind of stuff that leads her to sing like this. And I think that this is a much smarter choice. I wouldn't expect her to sing fully operatic on this part, because it's immensely gentle. It's a good night kiss for a child in time. Swaying blade, my lullaby. Like it's not necessarily expecting a huge operatic sound. This is more fitting for kind of like a classical song or a classical sound that fits maybe art songs and beautiful things like that, because I would consider this more to be an art song kind of a moment. Please sing more. Floor chose more fragile tone. Exactly, yes. Love it when Maggie sings. Thank you, guys. You're so sweet. Thank you. Very light and delicate. Yes, exactly. You mean a mixed voice. Both are mixed voices. Both of what I just did are mixed voices, but one has an operatic kind of a color to it. It's a difference in color. One has an operatic color and the other one has an art song color. The art song color takes a little bit less of the resonance than the classical color would take. And then also it just takes a different support, different color, different amount of breath, all of those kinds of things. And the pronunciation even changes. Just a lot of elements change when you're going from classical to operatic. So this is like the difference between what she's doing. It's a mother singing to her child. Yes, exactly. It's much more. The harmonic content is wilder with operatic style. Yes. People confuse opera and classical all the time. Opera is a specific genre of classical. Exactly. Yes. Let's go to the next windmill. Oh, we'll see if there's another one. Maybe I'll do another one. We'll see. Oh, there's a cool opera video of Flor singing Puccini. Yeah, I saw that. I think, oh my gosh, I have to see it. It was like O mio babbino caro, right? I still haven't reacted to that because I've been waiting for y'all to be like, let me sponsor this so I can do it for you guys. But yeah, I want to react to that live too. That might be a good one that we should do together as well. Anyways, let's keep watching. This is incredible. Very, very, very interesting to hear her sing in this classical style for this. So impressed with how many instruments are in this. This is literally like when they call it symphonic metal, they're not lying. There are so many incredible instruments in this. I mean, I can hear just now there was either a harp sound or some sort of like a twinkling string sensation, and then they had the bass. They had initially the actual stringed bass, the standing bass, and then now they're having the actual like 4-string bass situation. So amazing. Now pay attention for the 3 minutes in the narration. Got it. Okay, I will make sure that I don't miss the 3 minutes. Anyways, but what I was saying is that I really, really appreciate all of the instruments in this. Like, it's got so many different things happening all at once, which is just absolutely incredible. Also, did I mention my necklace went all the way around during my windmill? Literally went all the way around the back of my neck. That's hilarious. Now I have to put it all the way around again. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I heard some organ as well. Yeah, there's a lot of different instruments in there, for sure. All right, let's keep on watching.
afraid, so afraid. Being raped again and again and again. I know I will die alone, but loved. You live long enough to hear the sound of guns. Long enough to find yourself screaming every night. Long enough to see your friends betray you. For years, I've been strapped onto this altar. Now I only have 3 minutes and counting. I just wish the tide would catch.
Okay, wait, we said 3 minutes and counting there. Holy cheese, I almost did miss that because my literal whole back is crawling with goosebumps right now. Oh my god. Okay, so we have to count 3 minutes from there. So 7 minutes. So like at around 10 minutes, maybe 9 minutes and like 50 seconds or something, we should pay attention. So yes. Holy cheese muffins, that is intense. It will be obvious at 10 minutes. Okay, fantastic. All right, let's keep going.
Enough to find yourself screaming every night. Long enough to see your friends betray you. For years, I've been strapped onto this altar. Now I only have 3 minutes and counting. I just wish the tide would catch me first and give me a death I always longed for.
Oh my god. Gosh, okay, I am so happy that Marco is singing on this. Oh my gosh, his voice is so epic. Every single time, he's so good. Oh my goodness gracious. Also, I love the swinging pendulum in the background. It's been there like pretty much the entire time throughout the video, but it's really, really fascinating to see it. What's even more impressive than the amount of instruments is how well they're mixed. You could include all the instruments in the world, but they wouldn't sound good together if they're not mixed right. Exactly. It's really beautifully done. It's literally like listening to an orchestra with a metal band on top of it, and all of it is just beautifully placed together and composed really, really well. The pendulum looks like a swinging axe. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fun fact, Marco sang the entire demo version of this song since it was written between the singers. Whoa, that's so cool. Look at Marco's fingers on the bass as he sings at the same time. That always blows my mind. I know, I've noticed that before. Marco literally plays that instrument like it's his second language. It's insane, or first language, basically. It's insane while he's singing and doing all the other stuff. So cool. Okay, let's keep on watching. This is incredible. See, that's the pendulum. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, we're still at 9:39. We still haven't gotten to the 3 minutes. I'm so scared that I'm going to miss it. Oh my goodness gracious. He sounds incredible. Oh my gosh. I really, really like that sound in his voice. He's got a real like growl going in this one because usually he sings, I don't know, he's sung differently. I've listened to his tempere kind of singing and then the singing in Phantom of the Opera. Oh my gosh, his singing in Phantom of the Opera was insane. I had never heard him sing before then and I was like, holy cheese muffins, who is that? And that was the first time I discovered Marco. It was quite incredible. Whatever you do, do not pause for the next minute and a half. I will try not to. Sounds good. Okay. One thing I've learned from being in the front ensemble of a marching band is that the sound people perform just as much as the musicians. Yes. 100%. 100%. Oh my gosh. If you've not heard him sing the Pink Floyd cover, I've not heard him sing the Pink Floyd cover. The chorus is actually a great description of the artistic experience, our remasking and performance. It's one of those things that drew me to this song as my introduction to Nightwish. Wow, you got introduced to Nightwish through this? Holy cheese. All right, let's keep going. This is, okay, I'm going to hear this boy's text now. But oh my gosh, Floor sounded amazing there. Like, it's so good. Both of them sound great together. I love when they sing together because their voices blend so well, but then also have so much contrast that it's like, oh my gosh. In the video that we watched, when Floor was down in the growl and then Marco was up top, I was like, holy cheese muffins. That was incredible. I really liked that so much. Oh my gosh. Ready? Sound so good together.
Today, in the year of our Lord 2005, Tuomas was called from the cares of the world. He stopped crying at the end of each beautiful day. The music he wrote had too long been without silence.
Wow.
He was found naked and dead, with a smile on his face, a pen, and 1,000 pages of erased text.
That was, whoa. You can just see him there. Whoa. Yikes. That is insane. Whoa. The blade fell right at 10 minutes. Yeah. 3 minutes after he said he had 3 minutes left. Yeah. Wow. So Tuomas said that he needed to write a song where he kills himself so he doesn't do it in real life. That is insane. Whoa. The song was his catharsis in his healing after the very public breakaway from Tarja. Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like if this is the level to which, like, if Tuomas was at this level of emotion, like, clearly this has been something that's been brewing for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense now why their letter was... I mean, I still don't know if it's like... I mean, the public thing because they got ahead of everything else and the breaking of the news, but the fact that his emotion is so evident in this music and the depiction of all this stuff, it really seems like the letter wasn't that far of an exaggeration if this is what came out of his creativity. You know what I mean? Like, songs are so true, and of course we edit things and we make things dramatic and do things like that, and it's symphonic metal, so obviously things are always powerful, but that's quite a message that seems like his letter did make sense that was given to Tarja. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like that has a lot more toxicity and drama and action and everything happening all at once to inspire something like this. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't just come from something that was like, oh, she wasn't being nice and she was like, you know, she had to go and we were, you know, we had to just move on. Like, this seems like a lot went down that really caused him some real turmoil. And he put that out in this song, like, extremely, in this epic, whatever this would be called, this epic production, extremely dramatically and immensely. He saw himself as the traitor in Tarja's eyes. Yeah, but what can you do? I mean, if something happened that's this dramatic to cause this, imagine having to replay this song at every concert, though. No wonder that they keep checking on him. I mean, having to replay this every single time. How many times have they performed this live? I mean, he has to relive it every single time, you know? After the last concert with Tarja, he said to the camera that the concert went so well that he really wanted to hug everyone, including Tarja. Whew. This may never be performed again. They play this rarely. Wow. They don't perform at every concert. Okay, so that makes sense. They said that it will not be played again after that tour in 2015. That's crazy. Okay, well then I can see. I was gonna say, like, that's really difficult to process, especially if this was his cathartic experience after something that happened that was so deep. Okay, let's keep on going. This is immense. This is very, very immense. Let's watch.
He stopped crying at the end of each beautiful day. The music he wrote had too long been without silence. He was found naked and dead, with a smile on his face, a pen, and 1,000 pages of erased text.
That's crazy. You guys weren't lying when you said the crying is there. Wow. sorry, I have to pause because I have more to say and it's going to end. Otherwise, I need to say stuff. First of all, I want to listen to that mother part again because, oh my goodness, that is the most, like, sensitive and beautiful thing ever. A mother can always tell, obviously. Hi, Mom. Love you, Mom. But a mother can always tell when things are going wrong, and it seems like I saw some of you guys were commenting that this is like a conversation that they actually had. So beautiful, and this is the part where like Floor's voice comes through beautifully, and she's also using kind of a straight tone mixed with the vibrato here. She's not using too much vibrato, which I like a lot more. Actually, like, I really, really like the straight tone. I know some people in the classical industry and the operatic world are kind of like, oh, no, straight tone is not good. I love straight tone. Like, I love the contrast that it makes sometimes, especially in something like this, in classical crossover. It's really, really, really beautiful. Her playing the mom right now is stunning. I think it's perfect with the straight tone. So the difference basically is, so she's doing so that has just a little bit of vibrato in it, but not so much so that it's like a technical thing, you know what I mean? Like, she's not doing it to be technical, which I really like. It's more of an emotional kind of like lift, a kind of a beautiful, breathy kind of a quality that just lets the emotion come through. And like opera, I would say, still lets the emotion come through and all that, but I think this is something a little bit different. So that's kind of what she does versus what would be operatic, which I think would be more painful. I don't think it's as painful as in the beginning of the song. This is more of just like a heartbroken painfulness rather than an angry painfulness. So instead of what would otherwise be she could have done that as well, but I really like the straight toneness because it just shows like the energy is so much less that it creates like a beautiful eeriness to the feeling of it. You know what I mean? I like the it's like a much more sensitive kind of a feeling moment than a fully technical kind of example. You know what I mean? So I kind of admire that she chose to do this because she could have done a fully operatic kind of a moment after this, but the straight tone completely and totally just brings you in with her and gives you that sensitivity that you need, the fragility, the fragility that you need in that moment, because it's not that strong and, you know, the ability to like produce a perfectly technically produced thing. This is more of like this is what I've got left and this is how I feel, and it's healing and it's sensitive and it's fragile and it's just all of these kinds of things. It's just like looking at yourself right in the mirror rather than trying to produce something. It's that the double faces that he was talking about. This is no longer his public face. This is no longer what he's trying to put on and show. I think this is more like the moment where he's like, there you go. He's with his family. He's in his comfort. He's in his, this is like, he's like, Mom, I'm home. Like, what a, like, you know what I mean? So I think this was a better choice there. Really, really beautiful. This is stunning. Boy soprano is singing straight tone in the record. That's why Floor is singing the same way. Yeah, exactly. I think it fits. It could have been talked about with the band. You know what I mean? Like, they definitely would have discussions about how Tuomas would want to hear this, and I think that could have also played into it. I think Tuomas might have also given her an idea and been like, when she may have come up with the idea herself, or maybe he heard it and he was like, wow, yes, this is exactly right. Okay, let's listen to the mom part one more time because that is absolutely stunning. Okay, let's do it. wonder if that I Will Always Love You also paid tribute a little bit to Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, because it's the only part where I heard Floor actually do a run. That's totally random, but I kind of heard that and I was like, huh, that's interesting, because it's the only part where you hear her love you, like she does an actual run on that moment, which is interesting because I don't know if he got it from that or if she got it from that, but I just found that interesting that that's where she put the run on. Yes, Dolly Parton is the original author of I Will Always Love You, but I was thinking of the Whitney Houston version because she does a lot more runs and a lot more vocals on there, but it could be either one.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, goodness gracious. That is probably one of the most powerful things I've seen Nightwish do. That is immense. Yeah, holy cheese muffins. I think that this is one of their best songs ever. Overall, I think that they're incredibly talented. I think that everything that they do with this is so emotional, and I'm so glad we got to see the backstory and understand everything behind the emotion of this song, because it's just so powerful and so beautiful to see this raw emotion put out. And I think it's similar to opera. I mean, I feel the same kind of way when I'm performing operas and things like that. I mean, the emotion of all the people and the characters and the backstories and all of those things are so important. And I think that this is just beautiful, and it proves that drawing art from real life is an absolute beautiful thing. So thank you all so much for watching with me, and thank you for joining on this experience. Thank you so much to John for the wonderful information and for making this so wonderfully informative and beautiful. I think the experience is so much better because we got that information. Thank you. Thank you to Sammy for sponsoring this reaction. I appreciate you so much for everything. And to all of you guys for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment down below what you enjoyed and what you'd like to hear next, and subscribe to join my beautiful family. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Maggie Reneé Music so that you can join me on all of my adventures as a singer, living in New York City, studying at Juilliard, and traveling the world, taking you on stage and backstage with me. If you would like to support this channel, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon, where you can get exclusive perks and benefits. You can also hit the cute little blue join button to become a member of the Skittle Squad. Skittle Squad, let me hear you down below. Also, be sure to check out the links down below in my description so that you can see all the ways that you can follow me, connect with me, and support the channel. You can also go to maggierenee.com/links to find all of the different places that you can visit, such as my Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. Become a member of the Eyebrow Army, TikTok, Patreon, how to sponsor a reaction, my vocal course called How to Sing Better Instantly, and much, much more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I am sending you all so much love, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.